Nope. Zachary and Walter are shuffling up here. Looks like they are almost done there. And now they are ready for our opening roll.
They are both undefeated, so a win here will pretty much lock one of them into day 2.
Yes, you need 19 points. 19 points or the top 128, whichever is greater. They're all on 18 right now, so even a draw actually would do it. If they drew, both of them would be in.
Yes.
But, you know, maybe not the best position to be on exactly 19.
No, that makes it a lot harder to make the top 32 cut, and generally you don't want a draw in your round, because in each round there's effectively 3 points up for grabs for winning the round. If there's a draw, each duelist gets 1, so basically 1 point is lost among the 2 duelists.
That's the second law of thermodynamics.
Yeah, so this early in the tournament, draws are not particularly good.
Walter's going to start out with...
Looks like Rhino Heart.
Looks like Rhino Heart, yes. He's going to send Havness to the graveyard. And then Havness effect is going to be hit by Herald of Orange Light. Looks like he discarded Keldo there. One thing I do like about the Ishizu cards, very distinctive shapes. It's easy to tell what they are from a distance.
Yes. And they look a lot like their original forms.
Oh, and it's enough to get Walter to pass. Zachary is up. Starts with Scream. Scream instant fusion. Wow.
Oh, boy.
And I think I spied a terraforming in his hand as well. I think he might have drawn extraordinarily well. Kikillos hits the field, activates the effect of Scream.
Looks like another Scream, a Sharon, and a Bestial.
I'm going to add Celiac to his hand.
That's with the effect of Kit Kalos.
I guess it's more like Salik. They're all based on, you know, different words associated with crying.
Really?
So crime is cry me, like cry me a river. Celiac is sort of like an extension rather than a contraction of sulk.
Oh, I never realized that. So he's summoning Mug Dragon. And you were correct. He does have terraforming, and he is going to use it to get Perlerino, activate it, and then use its effect to add Rhino Heart to his hand. It's a much better start for Zachary than it is for Walter. Had Walter not been disrupted by the Herald of Orange Light, though, his turn could have gone very differently.
He does have a Havness here, so he's going to be able to do something. Summons the Havness, sends 3, hits a Bestial, Ghost Bell, and a Bestial.
Wow. He can do something, but it wasn't much.
That's rough.
Kit Kalos' effect is going to send 5 cards to the graveyard. Looks like one of them is a Merly, and one of them looks like an Ishizu monster.
Yep, that's a Kelbeck.
Kelbeck?
And he hits the Diviner as well. Let's see if that comes into play a little later on, because there's some stuff you can do if you hit Diviner off the top of your deck that's really rather unpleasant and involves Baron de Fleur. So we'll see if it gets that far.
Yeah, Baron de Fleur is an incredible card, but I haven't seen a lot of it.
Yeah, the trick is you need to hit it there and be able to bring it back to Sprite Elf later.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I haven't seen that strategy used. Yeah, that ability to negate any card is kind of hard to come by in the Tearlament strategy. So Baron de Fleur is a powerful addition to your field.
Yep, and we see the Garura here, so that's one part of it. Basically, it goes something like you have Garura out, you make Sprite Elf, you bring back Diviner, and you send one of your orange lights or the green light if you play it to increase the level to 4, and then you can make Baron.
Interesting. That doesn't seem particularly difficult.
You just have to, hit it.
Yeah.
So in this case, though, we're getting a Link summon of...
Looks like Dark. So he'll use the Garura's effect to draw a card, since it was used in the Link summon.
Thinking about using those two to make a rank 4.
Perhaps Abyss Dweller.
The instant fusion.
How do you just put it back with like tears?
Not entirely certain what happened there. We do know that he used instant fusion at the start of the turn.
So it should be in the graveyard.
Yep.
Wait, but aren't there trainers in the bottom? Yeah, the bottom has to be tears. Yeah. It was happening to something else for. Oh, you're right.
It looks like it might have gotten moved somewhere else that it wasn't supposed to be, the instant fusion, but it's back where it belongs now. We haven't had any of the shuffle back effects yet.
Not yet. He is going to exceed some of the Abyss Dweller. Obviously a heavy hitter against Tearlament decks. This effect can stop the Tearlament monster's effects from activating.
Going to take a Bestial and then link those two away. That's going to make Sprite Sprind.
So we'll use Sprind's effect to send Merly to the graveyard. Has he not activated the effect of Merly yet?
I don't believe he has.
It looks like he hasn't, since he is using it.
I don't believe he has.
So he's sending 3 back, so we'll see whether he goes for... Okay, he's going for Kaleido Heart.
Yeah, so he detached the Rhino Heart from the Abyss Dweller, get it in the graveyard, and now can fuse it back. And thanks to Abyss Dweller, Walter can't use any of those effects in the graveyard either.
Yeah, that's going to really hurt him on the next turn, too.
So that's what, 22, 3,000, plus Sprind, which is 16?
I thought it was 1,000, but let's...
Is it just 1,000?
Let's check. It's not quite as gigantic as a gigantic Sprite. Oh, it's 1,400, actually.
14.
Somewhere
So
in the middle.
It's like Elf.
Yes.
Elf and that are both 14.
Elf stats. Still, not quite as gigantic as gigantic Sprite.
So play passes back over to Walter, and Zachary immediately activates Abyss Dweller.
How often do you see Sprite Sprint's attack points be relevant?
Yeah, it doesn't come up a whole lot.
So Walter's going to normal summon Merly and activates effect to send 3 cards to the grave, and he
Planet
does
Rhino
hit.
Heart Keldo.
Yeah.
That's tough. No fusions. They can't use Keldo. And Zachary can use that Scream as well.
Oh, that's true. Since the monster was just normal summoned.
It's not looking great. And looks like what Zachary is going to do is he's got his hands on his own Keldo. He's got a Bestial next. And that's going to resolve. Now we've got the Scream sending 3. It's like Talents, Planet,
It looks like a Sheeran.
Sheeran.
And it looks like the Sheeran's effect actually is going to force the concession from Walter.
Yeah. I can't think of a way that Walter is getting back into this one. Not
No,
under Abyss Dweller.
Nope. not after that. I always forget also, Sprite Sprint has another effect where you can use an Xyz material
to bounce something
to bounce
back.
a monster.
We saw Charlie use that, I think, last round. I've seen it a couple times, actually.
Yeah, it comes up once in a while, but it's definitely something to be mindful of.
Now, Sprint is an extremely strong card.
Yes. And it's a lot of cards in the game that exist around it that make it so powerful. It's one of those contextual cards. The existence of Merly and Nimble Angler are part of what makes it so strong.
We're siding up here. I'm thinking back at what Walter had. Honestly, I can't think of a single thing that he could have really done there. The Herald really, I think, thought of that one turn he needed and just completely flipped things.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for him he didn't have a follow-up to that Herald either. Obviously, if he did and could have expanded the field with some really good effects, sending really good cards from his deck to his graveyard, that first turn field may have looked differently, and then Zachary's ability to navigate it may have looked different as well. But as that duel played out, Zachary basically just did whatever he wanted, completely uninterrupted.
No, it's tough. It's tough sometimes. All right, and it looks like we are just about ready to get Game 2 started, so let's head back. All right, so we've got Keldo, discard Keldo.
Now he gets
Special
to search
summon.
for any card with Exchange of Spirit in its text, and he's getting, it looks like Midora.
That's a nice one to have. You really want both of those, as many as you can get.
Sheeran's effect activates next.
Pitches it for Sheeran. Very good. And, oh.
Bestial and 2 spells.
See, now that's what it looks like when I played it.
There's one Perlerino and a card that searches a Perlerino, just not where you want them.
I have hit Perlino Terraforming, triple Perlino. It's just, I can't. I can't play this thing. The deck just doesn't like me, I guess.
Why, Sheeran, why? It's funny, a lot of players are critical of how the Tearlament deck sends random cards from the deck to the graveyard. Yep. But at the end of the day, everything's random, right? The cards you're drawing are also random.
It is, but it's got like the lights for an issue, right?
Yes.
Where when it's bad, it's real bad.
Yeah.
And when it's good, it's unstoppable. And it's kind of like the swingy nature of it that I think turns people off a bit.
Yeah. If you're playing the deck, though, you have to accept that risk.
Yep.
So Walter Link summons Dark. And then goes into Sprite Sprint, now that he has a Link 2 monster to use to make it. He sends Merly to the graveyard, and he'll use the effect of Tearlament's Merly, I assume.
Ah, now something has been special summoned.
Oh.
We've got a Kelvek Chain Vistial.
Wow, the Bestial's effect can banish the Merly to stop its effect from resolving.
Oh,
and then the Kelvek can bounce the Sprin to the hand.
Wow.
Oh, that's going to just clear out everything.
So Walter does have the Keldo and Midora in the graveyard. He could maybe keep the Bestial off the field, but I think he wants it there rather than waiting to mess up something else he's trying to do.
Yeah. Rather than keep that in Zachary's hand, I think you just let him summon it at this point.
And I think is that a Magnamut?
It must be, since he is searching his deck in the end phase.
Yeah, Walter just straight up ended his turn there. Gets Druis for him. Damn, that's tough. It's just been a lot of real tough breaks for Walter.
It really has been.
The exact cards needed for whatever he's got.
He ended his turn with a clear field. And how many cards is that in his hand? Is that one?
It's like one. He's just whiffed on. Like, even when he got his effects off, he just whiffed on them.
This is brutal.
Nothing you can really do about that. Oh, and Zachary hit the Herald again. Oh, no. All right, well, this time Walter has things he can do. He's got both Keldo and Mudora.
Yeah,
he just got to live.
Yeah, and he may be able to with those cards, but Zachary already has the field. Like,
He doesn't have the second level 4 yet.
no.
He's going for Druid's Form. And here's kind of where you need to think about using either your Keldo or your Mudora. It's not quite game here, but you're one monster away from game.
Yeah, and odds are good Zachary has it, especially since he's using the Gruis Worm here. Oh, looks like he doesn't, actually. Oh,
Super
never mind.
Polarization. He does have it.
He tricked me by going into the battle phase with less than 8,000 points on the table.
Goes for super polymerization, and that'll clear things out.
Yeah, summoning a monster in the battle phase is pretty powerful, even if you have to use your own monsters as materials to summon it.